Yo, what is up you guys? It's Dominator here, and in this video I'm going to be going over a recap of all of the shinies I've gotten for the Kanto Shiny Living decks, because we just hit 50 out of 150 with the last shiny I got, Shiny Charmeleon. You can check that video out, but before we begin, I actually have a Google Sheets page in the description of all my videos where you can check out the reactions and the videos of all of these shinies. So check those out. I also have a playlist on my YouTube channel with all of the Kanto Shiny Living Decks progress. But yeah, we hit 50 shinies, so I'm going to be going through and showcasing every shiny I've gotten. I'm not doing a compilation of all the reactions for every shiny because those videos are saved for the end of the year when I will do a recap of all of the shinies I've gotten from the year. So I figured I'd rather not do multiple compilations of the same reactions over and over again, so we're gonna do it this way. I figured it'd be cool to just showcase all the shinies I have and where they're all at, and also I probably will throw in a few non-Kanto shinies as well just to showcase all the shinies I've gotten in main series. Now, this is not including Pokemon Go, and this is not including Pokemon Let's Go. I keep those separate. For those who know and those who don't know, I have multiple playlists. I have a Pokemon Go playlist, a Pokemon Let's Go Living Decks playlist, and then a Kanto Shiny Living Decks playlist because I like to keep them all separate. So these are all the Kanto Shiny Living Decks playlists from main series, Gen 3 games, Gen 4 games, 5, 6, 7, 8, but not including Let's Go and not including Go. So without further ado, let's take a look at all the shinies I've gotten in main series. Okay, so I'm going to be showcasing these shinies in Pokedex number order, except for if I go on to doing non-Kanto stuff, then those will not be Dex number order. But we got 50 shinies. We're going to start with the earliest, go to the latest, and yeah, let's check these out. We're starting in Ultra Moon version because this is the one of my most recent shinies, and it is also one of the first in the decks. We got shiny Ivysaur. I got this in Ultra Moon version through the island scan, and this thing took so long. It was over 10,000 encounters, and I am just so glad to have gotten this thing. And I caught it in a love ball, as you can see. I like to nickname my shinies. This one does not have a nickname. Any shiny that isn't nicknamed in this video, feel free to leave a comment below if you have a nickname suggestion, and I will feature your comment in a future video and use the nickname if I like it. So do that. I don't know what to nickname this Ivysaur, but we have shiny Ivysaur, and yeah, Ultra Moon version. That's pretty much it. I think it's really cool getting this in the love ball. I still need a shiny Bulbasaur, but as we'll move on, you'll see that's really all I need is Bulbasaur. So let's continue. Alright, moving on to my Leaf Green version. I have a lot of shinies on this game. I actually did 3 shiny badge quests on Fire Red, 2 Fire Reds, and a Leaf Green. And I decided to send all of my shinies to one Leaf Green file because I just like having all my shinies there. So there's a lot of shinies on this game. So let's check it out. First things first. We got shiny Ivysaur. Now, this was the starter from the Leaf Green shiny badge quest, and also this save file has a cool ID number that I did not reset for. It just happened to be like that. So there's my shiny Ivysaur. I named it Goldenrod because it is kind of a reference to Goldenrod City in the Johto region, and it's apparently a yellow flower, and I thought that worked pretty well with a yellow flower of Venusaur. It's also a female, too, which is crazy. I only took like 3,000 encounters to get this thing, so that was kind of nuts. But there is my shiny Venusaur. Alright, moving on after the Venusaur. Also, pardon the sudden changes in lighting. It's very difficult to focus cameras and have like a solid color on DS and 3DS screens, so bear in mind that if the surrounding lighting is just way drastic every time I cut. But after Venusaur, we do not have Charmander yet, but we do have shiny Charmeleon. Now, this is my most recent one. I actually just got this one from recording this. I think it was 2 days ago. So again, like the Ivysaur, I got this via Island Scan, and I caught it in a level ball, which trying to get all of the second stages in like a cool apricorn ball that matches with them. So I got Ivysaur in the friend ball, and I got Charmeleon in the level ball. Also, leave a nickname for this one in the comments below if you want. I'll take nickname suggestions. I don't know what to nickname this one either, but there's my shiny Charmeleon. Moving on from shiny Charmander, we got shiny Charizard. This was my starter on my main Fire Red shiny badge quest, Fire Red 1 if you will. And yeah, this one, I think this one took like over 20,000 encounters. This one took a while. This was the last of the 3 starters I got, so it was well worth it. It's such a cool shiny, and I named it Shuriken because it's like what, the black dragon from the Inheritance series, which I may or may not have read the entire series. I actually didn't, but yeah, I know this is like the main villain's black dragon Shuriken, so I named the black Charizard that. So I think that's really cool. And yeah, such a cool shiny, and I think it looks, I love the blue border around it in Gen 3. I think it looks awesome. After Charizard though, we now have shiny Blastoise. Now this was on my Fire Red 2, my second Fire Red. This one I think only took like 4,000 encounters to get, or resets if you will, to get, and this was the starter for that badge quest because I wanted to do one with each starter. So yeah, not too much to say about this one, but I named it after the Ninja Turtle Donatello, not the artist, but I guess kind of the artist anyway. But yeah, there's my shiny Blastoise. It's also holding black glasses if you wanted to know that, so there's that. Moving on, right from Blastoise, we got shiny Caterpie. This one does not have a nickname, so feel free to comment a nickname about this one, but shiny Caterpie, I think this was the last Caterpie I got to complete the line. I was hunting Viridian Forest for both Caterpie, Metapod, Weedle, and Kakuna, and I ended up getting a lot of Caterpies and not very many Weedles, so we got Caterpies and no Weedles. So I think this was on my Fire Red 2. So if I'm referring to like Fire Red 1 or Fire Red 2, it's based on the badge quest. Fire Red 1 was the Charizard one, and Fire Red 2 was the Blastoise one. I also have Leaf Green 1 and Leaf Green 2. And Leaf Green 1 was the one with Venusaur, and Leaf Green 2 was just the extra Leaf Green I have to shiny hunt more in. But I believe I got this in... Oh, I got it in Fire Red 1. As you can see with the ID number, it is different from Donatello. But yeah, I'll have to trade it back and give it a nickname if you guys leave a good suggestion, so please do so. After Caterpie, we actually have the full Caterpie line. So moving forward, we got Camera Fail, the shiny Metapod. Now this one was on Fire Red 2, but I got this thing shiny. I think this was actually the last one I got. This was the last one. The other one was the second one, and then this one was the last one I got, but this was right before Safari Week started this year, and it's named Camera Fail because when I was recording it, I ended up losing the footage of the reaction, and it was kind of a hilarious reaction. I'd highly recommend watching this video. It was a really weird reaction for me that I got shiny, and then my camera stopped recording and didn't save the recording, so I was really annoyed about it. But then it turned out it was because I record on an iPhone and the storage was full, so after I deleted an extra video, it then saved it. So it was like a roller coaster of emotions with the whole like recording, but I already named it Camera Fail, so now it like is a weird name for it, but I'm just gonna keep it like that, because you know, why not? So there's shiny Metapod, and then moving on from Metapod, we have shiny Butterfree, Free Fallen, the shiny Butterfree. This was the first shiny Caterpie I got, and this was for the Fire Red 1 shiny badge quest. I think I ended up removing this one from the team later on because Butterfree just isn't the strongest Pokemon, and I was getting better stuff anyway. But it was kind of funny because during the Fire Red badge quest, everything for like the first 4 Pokemon, I'm pretty sure, were all flying type that I got. So that was kind of hilarious, but we got Free Fallen. I love the entire shiny Caterpie line. I think Metapod is my favorite, but they're all just so cool in their own way. But yeah, after the Caterpie line, I should say, we do have Weedle. We ended up getting 1 shiny Weedle. I did get this on Leaf Green 1, so this one I could nickname on this game, and it has the cool ID number. But we only got 1 Weedle for the 3 Caterpies we got, so that was kind of unfortunate, but at least we got one of the Weedles. still need a nickname for this one, so feel free to comment. You can just make a list of like all the nickname suggestions you have, and I'll pick and choose which ones are my favorite, and I will feature your comment in a future video. So there's a few Pokemon that need to be nicknamed. So we got Weedle here, caught in a Premier Ball. I also forgot to mention I caught Camera Fail in a Repeat Ball. I grinded a bunch of different Pokeballs in Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, so we got Premier Ball, Caterpie, Repeat Ball. This one was just a Pokeball on the badge quest, but then we got the Premier Ball for the Weedle, so I think the Premier Ball is pretty cool, and there is our shiny Weedle. After Weedle, we have the entire shiny Pidgey line. Let me just go through them. There's the 3 Pidgeys, but we'll do one at a time slowly. So we got Kiwi, the shiny Pidgey. Now this was, I believe, the last shiny Pidgey I got because I was going for shiny Rattata on Route 1, and I ended up getting a second Pidgey on that route over the Rattata. So I ended up switching routes for Rattata, but you know, we got the full shiny Pidgey line. There's Kiwi. Nothing too crazy about it, but this game actually got 2 of the shiny Pidgeys. So moving forward, we got Woodstock, which as you can see, this one's level 55. This one was Fire Red 2's second member of the badge quest, and I didn't want to get a second Pidgeot because I'm going for a Kanto Shiny Living deck, so I left it as a shiny Pidgeotto, and it still actually did pretty well as a Pidgeotto. Now, it was unfortunate that I got Pidgeotto because this thing was like so due for a shiny, and it ended up getting Pidgey of all things. I really wanted to get an Oddish, and there were some other things. I was hunting on the route right above Cerulean City where you could get like Oddish and Abra and Pidgey, and I think there was something else that was kind of cool that you could get, but yeah, we ended up getting Pidgey, so we used it as a Pidgeotto, and that was pretty interesting. And then after Pidgeotto, we got Pidgeot. This one's level 100. I've used this thing to level grind so many Pokemon. If you haven't checked out my tutorial on where the best place to level grind in Fire Red and Leaf Green is, check that video out. I have it in a Pokemon tutorials playlist, and I might link it on a card right here if I remember, so check that out. But flying types and psychic types are really good for grinding that, and I used Pidgeot to grind it. So Golgiot, the shiny Pidgeot, which was actually a nickname suggestion on the YouTube channel, so thank you to whoever gave me that nickname suggestion. But yeah, this was Leaf Green's shiny badge quest, second member, Route 1. You know, you can't go wrong. Moving straight on from Pidgeot, we got shiny Rattata. Now, this thing was named Boomerang because this one was one of my only shiny fails. Back before I did this on YouTube, I was just getting back into Pokemon. I've probably told this story a lot of times, but I was just getting back into Pokemon, and I was playing at school during lunch with my friends. We would just kind of like have our Game Boys out and just chill. And I was level grinding Route 1, not Route 22. This one was caught on Route 22, but we were level grinding Route 1, or I was, and I had Charmander as my starter, and I needed to get it to the level that it learns Metal Claw, so I actually had a chance at beating Brock. And I was just talking to my friend, button mashing A, and I looked down at my screen, and it said Rattata fainted, and it was a shiny Rattata. And at the time, I didn't even know what shiny Rattata looked like. I was just like, I think I just killed a shiny Rattata, and then I immediately like Google searched what shiny Rattata looked like because part of me thought I was just imagining it, and sure enough, it was the same color. So, yep. I named this one Boomerang because this thing took like 22,000 encounters or something like that to get, and it was my first ever reclaim of a shiny. So I named it Boomerang because it came back to me. So that's why its name's Boomerang, and I'm really happy to have this shiny again. So there's shiny Rattata. After shiny Rattata, we have Jack, the shiny Spiro. Now, I think this was one of the first hunts I did after completing all the badge quests. I was going on the route directly right to Vermilion City. I was trying to get either a Drowsy or an Ekans or Sandshrew, and I ended up getting a shiny Spiro. This was actually my second shiny Spiro, so it was kind of unfortunate, but at least it completed the line, and obviously I named it Jack because of Jack Spiro. If you look at my nicknames, there's a lot of just references and stuff in my nicknames, so, or just random funny names that I come up with. So if you're wondering why it's named Jack. It's because of Jack Sparrow. It's Jack Spiro. So there's that. And then obviously I said it was my second Spiro. So we got Bird Person, the shiny Furo. This was on my Fire Red 1 badge quest. Again, keeping the theme of all flying types. Bird Person, you know, referencing Rick and Morty. I just didn't know what to name it, so I named it that. And yeah, so this one's actually pretty good because it gets the move Drill Peck. So this thing is like actually an insane Pokemon to have, and I just backed up. So, but yeah, there's a Bird Person, the shiny Furo. And it looks as though we have to move on to Sword and Shield now, where my next shiny's at. Alright, moving on to my Sword version, we're going to take a quick look at the shinies we got on here. First thing we got is we have the shiny Partner Cat Pikachu. As you can see, it does have the sparkles. It is shiny. This thing sparkles in battle. Even when you put it in the Pokeball Plus, it will light up to the color of shiny Pikachu as opposed to a regular Pikachu. And both in Home, in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and in Sword and Shield, there are Dex entry pages for the shiny of this. It just never shows up looking shiny because they didn't code in a shiny model or shiny sprite for this. Because I guess they're just unaware of it, but this is a legitimate shiny. You can hunt this in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon anytime. There is just a slight, very, very, very slight chance that it's shiny locked for you. It's a 1 in 40, 96 chance that it's shiny locked. Other than that, odds are it's not, and you can shiny hunt this. I actually failed this shiny the first time, and then I reclaimed it the second time. You can check out both those videos on my channel, but there's shiny Ash Hat Pikachu. This one doesn't have a nickname. I actually cannot nickname this one. Even though it has never been nicknamed before, I guess event Pokemon just don't let you nickname them. It's really weird, because normally in Sword and Shield you can nickname Pokemon, but yeah, there's my Partner Cat Pikachu. Then we got shiny Nidoran female, which I accidentally got while trying to hunt for shiny authentic Sinistea. I was doing this new method for shiny hunting authentic Sinistea where you KO authentic Sinesteas and then it raises the authentic rate to 50%. And then whenever a non-Sinistea spawned in after, I would just encounter it. And I ended up getting a shiny Nidoran female. So I stopped doing that because, you know, I don't want to get anything else. But I can't believe we got shiny Nidoran female. This one's also not nicknamed, so leave a comment down below if you want to nickname this one. But there is shiny Nidoran female. Alright, moving on to my main Platinum version. Apologies for the camera angle. I don't know if it's like the greatest, but we don't want to deposit. So we got shiny Nidoran male. So I ended up Poke-Radaring this. I wanted a fast hunt. That was pretty easy. I forget why. I think I just had taken a break from shiny hunting and I wanted to get back into it and get some progress for the living dex. So I decided to Poke-Radar Nidoran male. I thought that would have been cool. And yeah, there's my shiny Nidoran male. I do need a nickname for this one, so feel free to comment below what I should nickname this. Alright, finally back to my Leaf Green game. We're going to take a look at the next Pokemon, as you can already see, because you have to hover over it. We got shiny Nidorino, nicknamed Steverino. This was the only shiny I caught in the Safari Zone, Safari Week for this year. This one was rough when I was doing Safari Week because my other two phases were like over 20,000 and I failed them. Going into Safari Week for the first time, I had actually already done 2 Safari Zone hunts and I had caught both of them. So going from those, and I think both of them were under odds, or maybe one of them was like a little over odds, but we got 3 shinies for Safari Week. We failed 2 of them way over odds, and then finally we got one under odds, being this Nidorino. It was actually a Nidoran male, and I evolved it into Nidorino, obviously, because you had already saw that I got the shiny Nidoran male in Platinum version. But, yeah, I nicknamed it Steverino because every time I think of Nidorino, I think of Steverino from, not Family Guy, American Dad. There's, it's quite a reference. If you know what I'm talking about, then you'll understand, but I'm not really going to explain it too much to you, but I think it's kind of a funny nickname. There's Steverino. On the topic of Safari Zone, we got Royalty, the Royal Blue Shiny Nidoking. This one I actually caught as a Nidorino in the Safari Zone, and this was my second ever Safari Zone hunt. I think this one was slightly over odds, actually, but I was essentially just trying to get a lucky egg in the Safari Zone, and I ended up getting 2 shinies before that, and I actually caught both of them, which was actually insane, so I was really happy about that, especially the Nidorino. That was a cool one to find and then get, and then I had to evolve it into Nidoking because it's just such a cool shiny, especially to have in Gen 3. So cool. After Nidoking, though, we got ourselves Navi, the shiny Clefable. This was actually a nickname suggestion as well, and I obviously referencing Legend of Zelda, Navi, the fairy that follows you in Ocarina of Time. Shiny Clefairy. This one was kind of funny. I got this one on Fire Red 2, and at the time, I was doing the resets at the game corner, and the game Fire Red 2 was playing on a front lit screen, so it's a lot harder to see, and everything is very blue colored, and it was actually the first Clefairy bought for that reset. And when I was hovering over it before I hit the summary, I like took a look at it. I was like, why does this one look weird? And then I had ultimately decided that it was not shiny and I was just crazy. And then I hit the summary and saw that the summary screen was totally different. So that one was kind of funny on the front lit screen. As always, check that video out. I got the Google Sheets in the description. They got links to every video. So yeah, there's the shiny Clefable. I think, was I calling it Clefairy? I was hunting Clefairy, but it is a Clefable now, so yeah, there's Navi, the shiny Clefable. Alright, after Clefable, we got Jigglyjacked, the shiny Jigglypuff. Now, I did a challenge video for this one. I did Masuda method for this. Every time I didn't get a shiny, I would do a push-up. And let's just say that didn't go very well, so I'd highly recommend checking out that video. That video was one of my favorites to make, and it was a lot of work as well. So please check that video out if you haven't done so yet. It took a real long time to edit, but I think it turned out really good. So there's my Jigglyjacked shiny Jigglypuff video. Alright, next up, we are actually on my Crystal Virtual Console version. I got shiny Wigglytuff. Now, I hatched this from the odd egg as an Igglybuff. This was one of the earlier shinies from this Kanto Shiny Living Dex, and the odd egg is like ridiculously high shiny odds, by the way. I got this first hatch, and yeah, I don't know. I'll still count it. I do prefer when my shinies are lower odds, but you know what? Why not? We'll keep this. And if I get another shiny Jigglypuff, then whatever, bonus, I guess. But we got Kirby, which was also a nickname suggestion for this Wigglytuff, and even though it's female, I still like the name Kirby, especially because Jigglypuff worked well for Kirby, but I think it's kind of funny. But there's our shiny Wigglytuff, and then another bonus thing, I guess, we have the shiny Gyarados. I'm not going to count this one, though, for the Living Dex. This one's guaranteed. I'm going to actually hunt for Gyarados a different time, so there's our shiny Gyarados, that's guaranteed, but yeah, this is mainly to show off Kirby, the shiny Wigglytuff. Alright, moving on, after Wigglytuff, we have Laylee, the shiny Golbat. Now, this was another member of the Fire Red 1 shiny badge quest, again, another flying type, but yeah, I got shiny Golbat. It was a Zubat, and I evolved into Golbat because obviously Zubat is a trash Pokemon, and Golbat's actually usable. So we got shiny Golbat. The nickname is Laylee based on the game Yooka-Laylee. It's a lizard and a bat, and Laylee is the bat, and it's a female Golbat. So I thought that worked pretty well. And not too much to say about this, just shiny Golbat, you know, everyone gets 500 of these things. I somehow don't have the full line complete. I might just be where I've been hunting, but yeah, we only got one shiny Golbat. Technically, we have another one that you may see later in this video, but there's Laylee, the shiny Golbat. After Laylee, though, we got ourselves Turn Up, the shiny Oddish. I got this on Fire Red 1, apparently, and I was hunting for Venonat, I think Route 14. We were going for Venonat. We ended up getting a shiny Oddish first phase, and then we ended up getting, what did we get second phase? Oh, we ended up getting Ditto second phase. Spoiler alert, I have shiny Ditto. And it's kind of funny because this shiny Oddish was actually I think this was the first time I got two 1 in 8192 shinies in one day. I had just gotten shiny Abra from the Rocket Game Corner, and then I wanted to start another hunt, so I started this hunt, and I got this in like 700 encounters, which is like less than an hour of hunting when you're doing 4 games with Illuminate and White Flute. So that was pretty crazy. I will always remember that. That was just crazy to get shiny Oddish, or just 2 shinies in the same day, 1 in 8192 shinies. So there's Turn Up the shiny Oddish. We still do not have shiny Venonat. That was actually one of the ones I failed from the Safari Zone, so that sucks. Shiny Venonat's really cool, so I really hope I get that soon. But there is shiny Oddish. Then we got Gus, the shiny Parasect. I got this in Mount Moon, as you can see from the description. This was the one floor in Mount Moon that is 100% Paras rate, and shiny Paras and Parasect as well. I don't know if Parasect keeps this color in any other game or generation, but the reason why I hunted for Paras in Mount Moon with the 100% rate was because Paras, I think, is such a really cool shiny. I don't have one to show right now, but if you check out the video, you can see. Normally, shiny Paras is like a reddish color over the usual orange color, and for some reason, only Fire Red and Leaf Green, not even Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, shiny Paras is brown with yellow mushrooms on it, and it just looks crazy, so I had to hunt it like that. So we might do another one in Mount Moon just to complete the line later, but who knows? Because it'd be cool to have the line both in the crazy whack color mode. But after Parasect, we got Mr. Sniffles, the shiny Diglett. I named it Mr. Sniffles, obviously, because he's got a cold, his nose is blue, it's cold, and he's sniffling a lot. So there's shiny Diglett. This one was kind of funny because I think I was having a pretty bad luck streak with shiny hunting, and then I ended up getting this one a little over 10,000 encounters, but like it still felt way faster to get, so that was cool. I don't know if I want to try to get a shiny Dugtrio. I think you can repel trick for Dugtrio, so I might do that to make it 100%, because Dugtrio is like, it's like a 5% normally, but if you repel trick out, like this thing is what, level 18? Dugtrio is like level 28 in the Diglett's Cave, so you could totally 100% repel trick it. It would be very slow encounters, but honestly, that would be really cool to get, so I might do that for the Dugtrio to complete that line. That is it for this box, but moving on, we got PK Fire, the shiny Abra. This was Rocket Game Corner. I say this all the time, but if you're ever getting into shiny hunting in general, I would always recommend to do a 1 in 8192 hunt as your first hunt. That's what I did, because in my mind, it gives you more of an appreciation for all types of shiny hunting, as opposed to starting off with, say, something like Masuda Method or Dynamax Adventures or something like that, where there's crazy high odds, and then I don't want to like sound super negative, but I feel like a lot of people get spoiled by odds like that, and then people just would never even touch a 1 in 8192 hunt or a 1 in 4096 hunt because they just don't get the shinies as fast. But if you start with a 1 in 8192 hunt, it will, first of all, you get hooked, because that's how I started, and look where we're at now. And yeah, like, it's still fun to hunt for the boosted odds stuff, but I still come back to these ones, because these ones, especially in Fire Red and Leaf Green, you get really fast encounters. It's my favorite generation to hunt is Gen 3. And on top of that, I would recommend starting off with the Rocket Game Corner shiny Abra, because especially if you're in Leaf Green version, you can get like 80 plus encounters every reset, and it just flies by. I actually have 2 of these things shiny, and you'll actually see the next one soon. But yeah, even though this one took me like, I think it took me like 13,000 encounters, it still was very fast, because you just get so many. With the 4 games I used, I could get like 276 Abra bought per reset, and it's just like, it adds up so fast, and it's just like, for a 1 in 8192 hunt, these ones are really fast. So I would really recommend doing this hunt specifically if you're starting off. If not, just do like a simple random encounter or soft reset hunt. I mean, I started at the Rocket Game Corner for my hunts, but I could buy 3 at a time. Yeah, I did single hunting it too. So like, you know, you start off hard, and you'll get used to it, and it won't be as bad if you're just kind of keeping your mind off of things. So yeah, there's Shiny Abra. After Shiny Abra, we do not have Kadabra yet, but we will move on to Alakazam. After Abra, we got Shiny Alakazam. Now, it is in my Sword version, but that does not... Also, I'm kind of cutting off the thing. It's no big deal, but you can see. I got Shiny Alakazam. I named it McGonagall. This was one of my first ever Shiny hunts. It was Rocket Game Corner Shiny Abra. See, it was caught from the Kanto region. It was female too, which is rare. I don't think it's like crazy rare. But, yeah, I did not get this live. This was before I recorded live Shiny reactions, so I plan on re-hunting for another Alakazam. I plan on re-hunting every Pokemon that I have not gotten a live reaction for, so if you want to see a live reaction for Alakazam, you know, stay tuned, because we'll re-hunt this thing, but I'm still going to count it for the living dex, because, I mean, it's still a legitimate Shiny that I hunted for, so, you know, why not? I do have a video on it, it's just not live. So, there's Shiny Alakazam. After Alakazam, we now have Little Mac, the Shiny Machop. If you guys were keeping up with my Kanto Shiny Living dex, I actually started hunting in, what is it, the Fiery Path, and in the Magma Hideout in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald to try to get a Shiny Torkoal, because there was a lot of Kanto Shinies I could get as well, and it would just be really cool to get a Shiny Torkoal in that. Yeah, I think I'm on like phase 8 for Torkoal now. I've taken a break from it, but we got Shiny Machop from it. We actually ended up getting the entire Shiny Machop line. We got Little Mac, the Shiny Machop, Spider Choke, the Shiny Machoke, and Goro, the Shiny Machamp. All three of these were on my Sapphire game. They were not even on my Ruby game. All three were on Sapphire. 2 of them were within like 100 encounters of each other, which was absolutely insane. I believe it was Little Mac and Spider Choke, if I'm not mistaken. So that was pretty nuts. As you can see, they all have the same ID because they're all in the same game on my Sapphire version. And the bittersweet part is Shiny Machop actually has a lower spawn rate or encounter rate than Torkoal. So Torkoal is an 18% in Sapphire, and Machop is a 15%. So getting 3 Machops was kind of crazy, but like, you know, hopefully Torkoal soon. I'll come back to that hunt when I try to go for like Coughing and Grimer, because I still need those. But yeah, if you're wondering why this one's name is Spider Choke, it's because I had gotten the second Shiny Machop, and I sent my first Shiny Machop out, and this, by the way, this happened in probably like 20 minutes, and then I put up that Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other because, you know, it made sense. So then someone suggested I name it Spider Choke, and yeah, it's missing an E, but that's because you can only fit 10 letters in the nicknames in the older games, so there's Spider Choke. And then Goro the Machamp, the last one I got was, you know, I had to trade for it, and Goro referencing Mortal Kombat, the 4-armed big guy. So, really cool. And immediately after Machamp, we have No Name, the Shiny Tentacruel. Now, I got this. This was a Badge Quest member. I think this was Fire Red 2. And yeah, we were just in Vermilion City. It's a 100% encounter rate for Tentacool and while you're surfing. So I was just surfing in Vermilion City and got a Shiny Tentacool. So we evolved it for the Badge Quest, so it was a good member, and we named it No Name, which is referencing the blue jellyfish from SpongeBob, which he eventually names it Friend, but I feel like No Name is more iconic because it was the one he never named. So I just named it No Name. So there's my Shiny Tentacool. Really cool Shiny. I need to get another Tentacool. I said Tentacool before, but this is a Tentacruel. Not a Tentacool. I need to get a second Tentacool so I can complete that line. Right after Shiny Tentacruel, though, we got Nugs, the Shiny Geodude. Now, this was on my Emerald version in the Magma Hideout. When you are encountering for Torkoal in the Magma Hideout, it's like a 30% Torkoal. I think it's 55% for Geodude, and then 15% for Graveler. So you can only get Geodude, Graveler, and Torkoal in Emerald version in the Magma Hideout. There is a repel trick for it. I might do that next time because we actually have a second one too. We got Graveler here, but I named this one Nugs because it's like a golden nugget, but I wanted to be a little more unique about it, so I just named it Nugs. And then, by the way, this one was, I believe it was this one, was my longest ever Shiny hunt. both in terms of encounters and in terms of odds, assuming Sinistea does not pass that, because my current phase for Sinistea is actually like really close to breaking this one. But this one took over 30,000. I think it was like 30,700 encounters. And yeah, shiny Geodude on Emerald. And then it was like the next phase, 18,000 encounters later, which was also awful. We got Malcolm, the shiny Graveler. Now, if you're wondering why I named it Malcolm, it has something to do with gravel. And if you know, you know. I'm not gonna explain this more, but it's Malcolm, and he needs gravel, that's for sure. So there's Malcolm, the shiny Graveler, both on Emerald, and yeah. Moving on, after Graveler, we have Warp Speed, the shiny Slowbro. Now, this was a badge quest member from Leaf Green, and oh my gosh, I love this shiny so much. It's kind of funny too, because I think it was surfing encounters in Celadon City. A lot of routes in Fire and Leaf Green, depending on what game you're playing on. Fire Red, a lot of routes are 100% surfing encounter for Psyduck, and Leaf Green, a lot of routes are 100% surfing encounter for Slowpoke. But in Celadon City, they're actually 99%, and then there's a 1% coughing. So I figured I'd surf in Celadon City. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I got like a coughing. It was either a coughing the encounter before this one or directly after this one. So it was like I was that close to getting a 1% shiny coughing. And on top of that, I had encountered like a ton of coughings that day anyway. So it was kind of crazy. But unfortunately, did not get the 1% coughing. But I think shiny Slowbro was like one of my all-time favorite shinies, and it was really powerful to use on the badge quest, so I'm really happy with that one. Alright, after shiny Slowbro, we got Eclipse, the shiny Gengar. This one was actually kind of crazy for another reason. It has to do with my shiny Hitmonlee, so I will explain that more later, but we got this one at the Pokemon Tower. It was a Ghastly. Unfortunately, shiny Gengar kind of sucks, but we kind of had to evolve it for the badge quest because we wanted it to be useful. So I'll probably keep hunting for shiny Ghastly to complete the line, just because I love getting the shiny Ghastly, especially in the Pokemon Tower in Gen 3. It's really cool. You can just use the Sweet Scent to force encounters because the encounter rate's pretty low normally. But yeah, there's shiny Gengar, and this thing's been really useful. Even though like special attack is different in this game, like the moves, it's based on the typing, and Gengar is technically, all ghost moves are physical. Gengar is a very high special attack. It was still really useful to use, even as all of its moves being physical moves anyway. After Gengar, we got Sleepover, the shiny Hypno. Then this was another like ridiculously long hunt. I think Clefairy, was like over 20,000, almost 21,000. I had done Clefairy and then immediately after swapped to Hypno, and this one took like 19,000, so that was like some of my unluckiest hunts in a row. But Berry Forest, after you beat Blaine, you have access to one island, and I think 1, 2, and 3 island, and I think the Berry Forest is in 3 island, and you have to save Lost Elf from a Hypno. It's a really good shiny hunt, and you can reset the Hypno, and Hypno is honestly surprisingly easy to catch, so you don't really have to worry too much about it. And yeah, it's such a cool shiny, like the really saturated pinkish purple color. More pink, it's like kind of like a magenta, but it's more pink. But it's just such a cool shiny, and really cool to have fully evolved from encountering it. So there is shiny Hypno. After shiny Hypno, we have Lucky Eggs, the shiny Executor. Now, I named this one Lucky Eggs because this was the first shiny I got in the Safari Zone when I was actually looking for Lucky Eggs. So I did not find a Lucky Egg, but I ended up getting some lucky shiny eggs. So that's why I named it Lucky Eggs. This thing, another really cool shiny, really cool to have, especially in a Safari Ball. Yeah, I got this in the Safari Zone. I think this was really fast, too. This was either, like, in the 1,000s, 2,000s, or 3,000s of encounters. And Safari Zone encounters are ridiculously fast, by the way. So, yeah, not too much to say about this, but it's level 100. I used it in the 100 battle challenge in Coliseum to get a Ho-Oh in Gen 3, so that's why it's level 100. I had to level it up. And yeah, really powerful Pokemon. This thing was pretty useful in that challenge thing, too, because it could, like, one-shot everything, so there's Lucky Eggs, the shiny Executor. After Executor, we do have Shiny Lucky Lee. Now, we have Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. I did Hitmonchan first. This thing was like, I think it was around 10,000 encounters, and I got it in Fire Red 2, so then that one couldn't hunt for Hitmonlee after. So this was over 10,000 encounters. I needed a break from doing this hunt. I needed to not do back-to-back of this because it just felt like it was taking forever. So we went from Hitmonchan, Fisto Pain, by the way. It's like the fiery Fisto Pain from SpongeBob. We went from Hitmonchan to the tower, the Pokemon Tower, to get Shiny Ghastly, and after Shiny Ghastly, the same game, this is like the craziest shiny I've ever seen, but the same game that got Shiny Ghastly, it had done like 1 or 2 encounters to show off the Ghastly in battle for the video, and then after that, it took, I think it was 78 total resets between my 3 games, and so that was ridiculously fast, but because it was only 78 resets across all 3 games, this game alone, this was Leaf Green 2, between the Ghastly and the Hitmonlee, it was only like no more than 36 Pokemon seen between them. So this was like the craziest shiny, a 1 in 8192 shiny. Only like 30 some encounters for that game between shinies. It was absolutely insane. So this is one of my favorite shinies I have just because of how ridiculously fast it was for how low odds it was. So that was kind of crazy. After Hitmonchan, we have Lucky Lucy, the shiny Chansey. Now this was one of my more popular videos for the shiny Kanto Living Dex. I think this was actually the first ever shiny I went for after declaring that I wanted to go for a shiny Kanto Living Dex, and this was a while ago. But we did this in, I think it was Platinum version, and we Poke-Radar'd it. So this one was really hard to Poke-Radar for because I think it's like a 1 or 2 or 5%. It's a really low encounter rate, so it's a really high chance to break your chain. And I did a lot of chain. I ended up giving up on it at some point and then coming back to it and getting it. But there's Lucky Lucy, the shiny Chansey, and I also actually have another shiny Chansey. This one is, this one's Eggs. I didn't really know what to name it, so I just named it Eggs. And we got this in, I think it was Ultra Moon version. There's a really good spot where you can level grind for, shiny, or not shiny, but like you can level grind SOS combo Chanseys a bunch. And I was doing that and ended up getting 2 shinies from it, so we'll see another one soon, but there's a duplicate shiny Chansey, technically. Alright, moving on, we have Frykid, the shiny Tangela. This was also a Badge Quest member. I believe this was Badge Quest, Fire Red Badge Quest 2? Yeah, directly south of Pallet Town, there's a little patch of grass on Route 21 where it's 100% Tangela encounter rate, so I figured might as well do that, and I think it took me like 21,000 to get this thing, but, you know, I got it, it was 100%, and it's such a cool shiny. On top of that, I named it Fry Kid because it looks like the Fry Kids from, the Ronald McDonald characters. I mean, both regular Tangela and shiny Tangela look like one of them, so yeah, there's that. That's why I named it Fry Kid. But there's my shiny Tangela. And this thing was actually more useful than you'd think. Like, it gets, like, Mega Drain, Sunny Day, Solar Beam. Once you get that Sunny Day off, it has Chlorophyll, and it, like, outspeeds everything. And then it just Solar Beams everything. So I was actually pleasantly surprised how good this thing was on the playthrough. So there's Fry Kid, the shiny Tangela. Moving on from Tangela, we got one of my all-time favorite shinies. We got Andromeda, the shiny Starmie. I named it Andromeda because a lot of times people name them after stars, and, you know, Star You, Star Me, they're stars. A lot of people name them after, like, Starfish, like Patrick, stars. You know, I was thinking, let's just name it after a different galaxy, so I just named it Andromeda Galaxy, so I thought that was kind of cool. One of my all-time favorite shinies. I think shiny Staryu's really cool, but Starmie just is on a whole nother level. I don't know. It's such a cool shiny, and I'm really glad to have this thing. I would like to complete the line soon, though. That'd be really cool. But after shiny Starmie, we got Worth It, the shiny Magikarp, which I named it Worth It because this is the Magikarp that you, Route 4, you get sold a Magikarp in the Pokemon Center right before Mount Moon. and it's 500 Poké-Dollars to buy this Magikarp, and it's supposed to be like the infamous scam that this guy sells you a Magikarp, but I was like, you know what, this guy's gonna sell me a shiny Magikarp. So I reset for it and got a shiny Magikarp, and I was like, that was 500 Poké-Dollars well spent. So it was worth it. So that's why I named it Worth It. I was gonna evolve this into a Gyarados, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it because I think the golden Magikarp is just way cooler for something like that, for the one you bought, so there's that. After Magikarp, we're hitting the end of the line here. We have Ditto, which, yeah, this was the Ditto I was talking about, was Phase 2 for the Shiny Venonat that I still don't have, but we ended up getting Shiny Ditto. I named it Look at Me because it reminded me of Mr. Meeseeks because it's blue and he's got that derpy face, so there's that reference there. Look at me, the shiny Ditto, and he yeah, you know, he transforms too, but that's what Dittos do. Caught in a dive ball, which I think is really cool, and shiny Ditto is a really cool shiny. One of my favorites. I'm really biased towards blue shinies. Speaking of blue shinies, right after Ditto, we got Big Chungus, the shiny Snorlax, which I think is a really underrated shiny. I think shiny Snorlax is a really cool shiny that not many people pay attention to just because it's not a crazy different. Like, it goes from like a greenish blue to like a really royal blue. It's just, it's so cool. And the belly turns like a darker tan color, so I think that looks so cool. Really cool shiny. I just did a soft reset for this with the Poke Flute, and yeah, really cool shiny. This was a cool member to have on the badge quest as well. This is for badge quest 1, Fire Red 1, I should say. Then we got the stars of the show. We got the shiny Dratini line. Dratini, the Dratini line, specifically Dragonite, is my all-time favorite Pokemon, so shiny Dratini was my first ever shiny hunt. Not my first ever shiny that I've gotten. Way back in the day when I had like a really old copy of Diamond and Pearl, I think it was Pearl, I got random shiny Bidoof, which I don't have anymore, and then I failed the shiny Rattata. But this is the first ever shiny I've hunted for. We tried to get a lot of ribbons for it. I might do a ribbon quest for a different Pokemon. I actually have a really good one in mind that I want to do, assuming I can get it to work out, but we got a lot of ribbons for this. This is like one of my all-time favorite Pokemon I have. First ever shiny. This was my first ever shiny hunt. It was a 1 in 8192 at the Rocket Game Corner, and I went over triple odds for it. So, yeah, it was like it was nearly 25,000 encounters for this thing, and I honestly thought my game was broken. The only reason I stuck with it was because I had failed the shiny Rattata in the same save file. So I knew the game was capable of getting shinies. You get those like those superstitious kind of things where like, well, what if something's wrong with my game and it won't work? But yeah, it ended up being Adamant Nature too, which is really cool. And I wanted to make this kind of competitive, so we actually ended up, let's see, how do we do this? We ended up EV training it for max speed, max attack. We also hyper-trained every stat except special attack, and it also has Pokerus because I got Pokerus on my Heart Gold version randomly, or it was either Heart Gold or Soul Silver, I don't remember, but I ended up passing it on to Dragonites, but yeah, this Pokemon's been through a lot. I currently keep it in my home because if you don't know, your profiles in Sword and Shield, all your data for those is tied to your Switch. So if something were to happen to my Switch, I would lose everything on my Sword and Shield save files. So I decided to move them into my home. They're on Sword right now just for the sake of this video, but I decided to move them all into home just in case something would happen. I still have like my actual login information for that, and I can have access to it on my phone anyway. So yeah, there is my shiny Dragonite, and then let's not gloss over Shiny Scale, the shiny Dragonair, and Lil Knight, the shiny Dratini. Shiny Scale was kind of funny. This one, again, I did not get this one live. I didn't get any of these ones live because this was before I did live reactions, but I was resetting for shiny Dratini for a Dragonite. It took like nearly 25,000 encounters, and then I wanted to get a second Dragonite that was not shiny, that had a specific nature. And I also wanted it to be male because shiny Dragonite is female. Also, if you're wondering why it's nicknamed M Knight, it's for Emerald Dragonite. That's kind of like the short nickname for it. So that's that. But I was trying to get a male shiny or male regular Dratini with a specific nature. I forget what nature it was, but I ended up getting a second shiny Dratini before that. It had to have been around 50 encounters, and I figured at that point might as well hunt for the whole line. And then I went for Little Knight, the third one, which that one was I think around 3,000. So neither of them were nearly as bad as the first one, but this one's my favorite. So that is my entire progress for my shiny Kanto Living decks. But I'll just showcase the rest of the shinies I have, because why not? These are in like no particular order. We'll just go through, we'll kind of rapid fire them, I guess, and I will show off some other things. So we got Marshy. Marshy was phase 2 for shiny Authentic Sinistea in Glimwood Tangle. So there's that. We got Goon Squad, which is the first ever Sword and Shield hunt I did. I originally started without the charm, thinking the encounter method, the knockout method, was working properly, and it wasn't. And then I got Shiny Charm and ended up getting it. So this thing took like 2,800 encounters. Then we got Ash Sai Sucks. Shout out to my friend Ash Sai. I got a shiny Masuda Method Sobble on Sword in like 40, I think it was like 48 or something hatches. And then I was helping my friend out trying to get complete the deck so he could get the shiny charm. And he exited the trade and then went back in without a trade code, thinking it would save the trade code. And then he traded my shiny Inteleon to some random person. And so I had to hatch another one. This is actually the second one. I named it Ash Size Sucks, and this one only took like 100, so or 130 or something hatches. So like, thankfully, it was also under rots. But yeah, that's why it's named that. We got Genocide, the shiny Genesect. I no way in any way, shape, or form condone genocide. I just thought it was a funny name to give Genesect because it sounds similar. Not really a funny name. I think it's kind of a cool name, honestly. It's kind of edgy. You know what it is. But I got this. Obviously, I got this from Pokemon Go. The only possible way to legitimately hunt a shiny Genesect is through Pokemon Go if they ever bring it back with it being shiny. So I did that. I got 2 shiny Genesects, one for Go, one for main series. And normally I keep the Pokemon from Go and main series separate, but this was an exception because there's literally no other way to hunt for shiny Genesect legitimately. I think you can do the DNS exploit to get the Japanese event one, but that's not the same to me. I'd rather get one that I got legitimately. So we did that in Pokemon Go. So there's that. Then we got Megatron, the shiny Metagross. One of my most popular videos, actually, in terms of shiny hunting. I Poke-Radared for this one. On route, I think it's route 228 in Platinum. During a swarm, you can get Beldum, and I got it on a chain of 11, which is roughly a 1 in like 5,000 chance of happening. So we ended up Master Balling it because it was going to kill itself, and I was not prepared, being an idiot. And even though I could have kept going for the chain and probably easily gotten another shiny Beldum, I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to like catch an 11 chain shiny. So this is one of my main men. He goes hard for all those like competitive battle towers and stuff, so it was really useful to have him. Then we got Persephone, the shiny Gardevoir. This was on my Alpha Sapphire shiny badge quest, which was more of a Dream Team quest than a badge quest. I kind of tweaked the rules a lot just because I wanted to. So this was one of the shinies I got in my Alpha Sapphire playthrough. I have a playlist for that if you want to check that out. We got Annabelle, the shiny Mimikyu. I'm not sure if I hatched this one live, but I hatched one live. At least one live. And I think they were both Masuda Method, if I'm not mistaken. But it was from the Alola region, obviously. This one's also absolutely broken. This thing's so good in like the battle towers and whatnot. Now we got Mr. Fish, the shiny Dracovish, which, funny enough, was a comment nickname suggestion. I thought it was a funny name. This was such a fast hunt. The fossils in these games are full odds, and I ended up getting so 1 in 496. I ended up getting this in like 270 or something like that, which was ridiculous. So there's Mr. Fish. the shiny Dracovish. We got Lemonhead, the shiny Drifblim. I did this on my playthrough of Pokemon Platinum for the first time on the channel, and this was before I got it live, so I'll probably hunt another one to get it live, but shiny Drifloon and Drifblim were really cool. I figured I had to hunt it when I was playing through Platinum as one of my very first hunts, so really cool. And here's the second shiny Chansey that I got from the SOS thing I was talking about earlier. I got two shiny Chanseys. I evolved this one, Eggs Benedict. We evolved it just because we wanted the full line, but I will probably re-hunt another shiny Chansey so I can get a live shiny Blissey in the future because I wanna get everything live. You know what it is. We got Skadoosh, the shiny Pangoro. This was a random shiny I got. I was trying to prepare for my authentic Sinistea hunt to get a scrappy Pancham with so I could get False Swipe and False Swipe the Sinisties. But we ended up getting a shiny Pangoro in like I think it was a chain of like 13, no more, no less than that. It was like ridiculous. So random shiny Pangoro or Pancham that I evolved into Pangoro. So that was really cool. We got Donkey Kong, which was a Masuda Method shiny. Obviously, you had to hunt them. I could do full odds eggs, but I don't want to do that. So we Masuda Method this guy. This one only took like 56, I think, which was another really fast one. And I still don't have shiny Score Bunny, which is my favorite starter, and it's the only one I haven't hunted yet. But there's Donkey Kong. We got Seize, which is my shiny Flygon. I got this randomly in my Ruby version, which my Ruby version had a dead battery as well. And so when you have a dead battery in Ruby and Sapphire, that means it has the frame-based RNG like Emerald does, where you can't really reset for shinies. I had to learn that the hard way because I did 18,000 encounters on Groudon before I realized that was the case. And yeah, so I was level grinding Pokemon for the Battle Tower, and I was like, or no, I was pickup grinding. That's what it was. I was pickup grinding for rare candies. And I wanted to go to the desert area because I was like, hey, maybe I can get a shiny Trapinch doing this. And I actually got a shiny Trapinch doing it. So, not live. We'll probably re-hunt this thing at some point. And its name is Seize because it's the Banshee that Neytiri rides in Avatar, if you're wondering. I figured these are look very similar to the Banshees from Avatar, so I thought it was a cool nickname. Now we got Lotus, which is another Alpha Sapphire Badge Quest member, which, you know, we just did the deck snap for this. Not too much about it. This one and Persephone are actually both square sparkles, by the way, in this game, out of, like, everything I've sent. Now we got Perp Skirt, which is the shiny Audino. I did not get this one live. I got this from the Ultra Wormhole, and it was like the first encounter. Ultra Wormhole, if you don't know, is like the highest shiny odds in all of Pokemon main series. You can literally get up to like a 1 in 3 chance of a shiny, depending on how well you do. And I got this like first encounter, so I figured I'd catch it, and yeah, in a Beast Ball, because why not? Because I could literally just reset over it, and it would stay shiny, so there's that. Now we got my starter from my Alpha Sapphire Badge Quest, Dionysus, the shiny Sceptile. This one was really under odds, too, for a full odds hunt, so that one was really cool. But, you know, not too much to say about this. This is one of my favorite starters, but, you know, soft reset hunt and Alpha Sapphire. That's basically it. Next, we got a random shiny Alolan Meowth in my Ultra Sun version, just playing through. So we evolved it and named it Crookshanks. I will probably rehunt this thing. Another random shiny I got, random shiny Whiscash. I was trying to get a Dratini in either Moon or Ultra Moon. I forget which one. I was trying to get a Dratini so I could try to breed my way up to get like a perfect IV Dratini. But before we got a Dratini, in like a few encounters, we just got random shiny Barboach. I think it was full odds too. It might have been Ultra Moon version. And I think I got it full odds because I didn't have the charm at the time in Ultra Moon. Now we got Calypso, which was another Alpha Sapphire Badge Quest member. I chained fish for this one, but I was being stupid about it and not using Sticky Hold, so it took me way longer to get it shiny than I probably should have. But we ended up getting shiny Feebas, and we evolved it into shiny Milotic from that, so that's cool. We got Pele, the shiny Dugtrio, which was another random shiny. This one was in my regular Moon version. I was trying to complete the Pokedex to get the shiny charm, and I needed to get Trapinch, and you get Trapinch from the ambush encounters, and before I got before I got regular Trapinch, I got shiny Alolan Dugtrio. So again, not live, but I'll probably rehunt this one later. Next, we got Flying Nimbus, which was the final member of our Alpha Sapphire Shiny team. So, we just did Horde encounters for this one, and this one was pretty cool because I think it was like 100% Swablu at a certain route. So, we did that and got it shiny. I forget how long it took, but it probably was not under odds because, I don't know. That's just my luck. That was page 1. We got page 2. So, we got the full shiny Galarian Slowpoke line. We do have these live. You can check those videos out in my Sword and Shield shiny reactions playlist. I might eventually, for the Kanto Shiny Living Dex, go for all the other forms for shinies, excluding the Galarian birds, because you can't get those shiny, which really frustrates me. But, yeah, so I might include these in the spreadsheet at some point, but not now. But we did all these Isle of Armor, just those encounters on the beach, and yeah, we got all of them. We got Liquid Gold because it's gold. We got Infinity because it looks like it's holding the Infinity Gauntlet. And then we got Uzbekistan because it oozes poison. And then I just thought of the country Uzbekistan. So there's that. Really strange nickname, but I think it's kind of funny. Then we got Remus Lupin. Well, it's not Lupin, but it's a reference to Harry Potter. Professor Lupin. He, the werewolf. So, I think this was like my first ever SOS hunt in Moon version, and I did not get it live, so we'll probably rehunt this one later, but yeah, I just wanted to do it for fun to test it out, and we went for Rockruff, so there we go. Next, we got Danger Zone, which was my first ever Masuda hunt in Sword and Shield, and this one is also my longest ever Masuda method hunt, which was over 1,300 encounters, or hatches, which is, yeah, that one sucked, but, you know, really cool shiny, and I got it in a Dream Ball because I bred for it, so there's that. Next, we got, this was Phase 3 for Authentic Shiny Sinistea in Glimwood Tangle. We got Osh Shiitake, which is a Shiinotic, obviously, and that's basically it. It was like one of the most common things to get in Glimwood Tangle, and we somehow got it Phase 3 as opposed to Phase 1 or 2, so there's that. Hopefully I can get a Morgrim at some point. We're gonna maybe hunt Glimwood Tangle in the future, so. Yeah, there's a Shiinotic. I really hope I don't get any more of these. Next we got Guzma, the shiny Golisopod, which, I mean, Guzma, I don't know. I call him Guzma, a reference to, obviously, the leader of Team Skull. But I think we bred for this. I was trying to reset for it in my Ultra, I think was it Ultra? It might have been Moon version. And I just got really impatient because I wanted to play through the game, so I decided to Masuda method it after like, I think it was like after like 1,500 encounters of resetting, so, you know, not too much. Not live, we'll rehunt this, you know what it is. Next we got Stormbreaker, the shiny Zeraora. This was from the event when they did the Isle of Armor release, and you could raid for the Zeraoras, and once you hit like a certain number of raids, they would gift everyone a shiny Zeraora for a limited amount of time, and between you and me, I didn't do a single Zeraora raid. I didn't do the raids at all, so I still got it, though, because all you needed to do was log in during the time, and I named it Stormbreaker to reference Thor's axe in Infinity War, and in the comics, I guess. But, yeah, I did not get this one live, and I probably will not rehunt it, because I don't know how I'll ever get another one of these things again, so there's that. Then we got Melty, the shiny Meltan, which it's very melty, and also we got Melty and Mercury, the shiny Meltan and Melmetal. Obviously, these ones are from Go. It's actually impossible without hacking to get a shiny Meltan or Melmetal without the use of Pokemon Go. So these were the other exception of things that I do not keep separate from Go and main series. So there's shiny Meltan and Melmetal. Really cool. Then we got a random shiny Fungus while grinding Apricorns in the Isle of Armor. So we named it Sus because I should evolve this into a Moongus. It'd make more sense. But yeah, we got that, and I was kind of annoyed because I was pretty due for a shiny Sinistea, and I took a break and wanted to grind Apricorns, and we got it, but it's whatever. It's really cool shiny, but didn't get it live, so we'll probably rehunt it. Next up, all of the Sinistea phases. If you're keeping up with my shiny authentic Sinistea quest, we have 5 phonies. We are currently on our longest phase ever close to our longest hunt ever in terms of odds, because the Geodude, which took 30,000 encounters, was like 3.75 times odds. We're currently at like 3.6 or 5 times odds for our current phase for Sinistea. But we have 5 phonies for now. So we got Pinky, Chip, Lipton, Big Fat Phony, and Mrs. Potts, and they might all be in different balls. They are almost all in different balls. Lipton and Chip are both in love balls, but the rest are, one's in a heal ball, one's in a dream ball, and one's in a premier ball. So there's all my phases for authentic shiny Sinistea. Very cool. And then after that, we got Doc Ock, which is a random shiny Graplocked that I got. It was a strong spawn Graplocked on the Isle of Armor. I was trying to get items on the beach, and when this thing was standing over one of the items, and I was really trying hard to not encounter it, and I encountered it, and of course it was shiny. But yeah, there's a shiny Graplocked, not live, probably rehunt it. We got Count Fabulous, the shiny Crobat. I actually got this on my Sapphire playthrough. I have the Coliseum bonus disc that you can get a Jirachi with, so I got Jirachi as like kind of like my starter for that. And then I found a random shiny Zubat, and then on top of that I found another random shiny that you'll see later, but I thought it was crazy. It's evolved into a Crobat. Obviously I didn't get it live or anything, but there's shiny Crobat. Then we got Post Malone, which is the shiny Swinub. I named it, I spelled Malone. I know I spelled Malone wrong. It's supposed to be like melon, but because shiny Swinub's kind of like a watermelon in the later games, I actually think this one looks the coolest. It's like a really nice blue color. But this one was pretty crazy because this was just a random shiny Swinub I got doing the post-game quests for Leaf Green, immediately finishing the Leaf Green shiny badge quest, which is just insane because it was not due for a shiny, that's for sure. Just crazy luck. But there's Post Malone. Then we move over a little bit. We keep going, we keep going, we keep going. We got Azula, the shiny Numel, and then we got Gobi, the shiny Camerupt, which both of these were phases for Torkoal. In one of them was from Ruby and the other one was from Sapphire. I think I'm actually unsure which one was from which. I don't know which ID was, but I think the second one was from Ruby, because Ruby was like took forever, but Azula, referencing Avatar The Last Airbender, Azula is one of the main antagonists, and that's where that. And then Gobi is a reference to Banjo-Kazooie, because there's a camel named Gobi, which I think is kind of funny. So there's those. Then, as I said before in my Sapphire playthrough, just normally, after getting the shiny Crobat, I wanted to level grind at Mount Pyre, because I was like, you know what, if I get another shiny, it would be cool to get like a shiny Shuppet. Literally on my way to Mount Pyre, I first encounter got a shiny Shuppet randomly, which was just absolutely insane. So I named it Inky, which it references the ghost from, the blue ghost from Pac-Man. So there's my shiny Venonat. So that was like a really cool playthrough. I had Jirachi and 2 shinies on just a casual playthrough. I did not do too much grinding. So that was kind of nuts. And this is another bonus shiny I got. It's a shiny Darkrai named Dark Matter. I got this like way under odds too. I used the an action replay to get the event in Platinum, and then I also used the Void Glitch in Diamond to multi-hunt it, and I ended up getting it on Platinum. But there is my shiny Darkrai, nicknamed Dark Matter, and that's, I think this was also a commented nickname on YouTube as well, so that's really cool. And this is one of my favorite shinies. I honestly, even though that you guys probably don't like the idea of sending shinies up to later games, I am so excited for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, so I can send shiny Darkrai into it and have shiny Darkrai legitimate in one of those games, because I just think it looks so cool. Yeah, really excited about that. I do like sending a lot of my shinies up, so as like, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, it's better in the older games. I personally like having all my shinies in the same place, and even though I'm not like I'm not gonna just as soon as possible send them all up. We might do it over time, but I do eventually want them to all be probably in Pokemon Home, because that's probably the safest place to have them too. Old game cartridges can like break down over time and just stop working. There was an issue with it with like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire for like the European versions. So we don't really want that to happen. We want to preserve our shinies. So I think Home is probably the safest place right now, or Bank, but Home's probably more safe, because who knows, they might like discontinue the online services for 3DS, and then I don't know how Bank's gonna work from that point. But enough of my ranting. There's my shiny Darkrai. I think that's it for everything on Platinum, honestly. I don't think I have anything else. I have some of these like event shinies that I got with the DNS exploit. We're not counting those at all, but and that is, I think, is everything, depending on what order I put these in. So that is gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring those notification bells, all that good stuff. Be sure to join the domination, and I will see you in the next video.